If you need a driver's logbook for your EV for business, you need to know where did you go and how far, how many kilowatt hours did you charge, and you don't want to write all of this down yourself, then Tronity is exactly what you need. Tronity connects to your car, a lot of brands are supported, and in the app or in a browser you can see all of this data. You can also manage a whole fleet of EVs and see where they charge at home or for business. Check them out in the link in the description below. Hello everyone, today I have an interesting one for you. We have two Volkswagen ID7 here, the GTX, where is it here? And the Volkswagen ID7 Pro. Amazingly, this is an all-wheel drive version with more power, and this is the rear-wheel drive version with 210 kilowatt. This has 250 kilowatt maximum. And we're here on the highway, we charge both cars to 80%, and then we're gonna drive a bit, come back here and charge back up to the 80%. We look at the consumption, what the cars say, what the average consumption was, and then we'll see how much was charged, what was the real consumption including charging, because that's very, very interesting. We are on our way. We're driving around 135 kilometers an hour, and Matthias in my ID7 Pro is in front of me. We just started. We both charged to 80%. Like I said, we have our climate off. We have it on low and fan speed 1, so no heat, because in my ID7 I don't have a heat pump, and in this car there is a heat pump, so the comparison would be just off, since the heat pump takes less power to heat up the car. I have a glass roof in here, which I don't know, it makes a difference. I'm sure it makes a difference in weight, but the front motor makes a difference in weight as well. So important difference here in the car is not just the power, and in these cars is not just the power. Yes, I have all-wheel drive and more power, but I also have a bigger battery. I have a 86 kilowatt hours usable. My ID7 Pro in front has a 77 kilowatt hour usable battery. So this is also more weight. The GTX charges better, but we're gonna see this at the end anyways, when we're done. The question is how is the difference in consumption? Because I know that the big battery, the normal Pro S ID7, so with the same motor, already has higher consumption just because of the weight. And this GTX, because it has another motor that, yes, doesn't get power, but it has to turn with driving, and there's some loss, means another higher consumption. And what I'm expecting is that we will have higher consumption in here, of course, but I think we will have the same state of charge at the end. I'm just guessing, I have no idea. I think that the GTX with a bigger battery can drive as far as an ID7 Pro with rear-wheel drive. And by the way, both cars have 19-inch winter tires on, so we have the same wheels, the same size and everything. we just turned around in the middle. So when we drove here after 25-26 kilometers, I passed him. Now we turned around and he passed me, but when we already were at 130, so we both have used the same power. There's no difference that one has it better or something. Nobody has an advantage. And it is time that we look at our stats. We have the sun against us, so it's hard to film. And Matthias is on the phone. Let's talk about state of charge. I am at 64%, and Matthias in my ID7 is at
63.
Ooh, that's very, very close. That's good. And my average consumption is 203 watt-hours per kilometer, and Matthias?
169.
Ooh.
196.
That's better. Okay, 196. That makes way more sense. So the difference in consumption is not big, but the state of charge is so close. That's really weird. I was expecting way higher consumption in my car than, but maybe, how many kilometers did you drive?
66.
Me too. Huh. So it's not that. Interesting. Yeah. So we're gonna drive on in 20 kilometers, or not even. We're gonna switch order again. I'm gonna pass him, and then we're gonna go back to the charger and charge up to 80%, and then we see the real consumption. Maybe this number here is not correct. The GTX arrived with 52%, average consumption 203 watt-hours per kilometer. The Pro arrived with 50% and 195 watt-hours per kilometer. We plugged in at the same time. Let's see what power we get. The GTX should get way higher charging power, and then we'll see what they charge up to 80%. It's so bright. Now that's interesting. The Pro gets 88 kilowatt. The GTX 86, 87. So very interesting. The difference in consumption is just 4% of the GTX with a second motor and bigger battery, so it's heavier and the motor has losses, but difference in consumption is just 4%. I'm very, very surprised. I wouldn't have thought that is the case. And we have the exact same tires. They have the same 19-inch wheels, the same rims, the same size, the same make, Continental winter contact. It's all exactly the same. Huh. We're done charging. The GTX charged in 18 minutes, 25.8 kilowatt hours. The Pro in 19 minutes, 23.6 kilowatt hours. So that's interesting. When I take the kilowatt hours charge, the difference is 9.3%. So not 4.1 as it was before. Huh. We went from 4 to 9%, and 9% sounds more like what I thought it would be. I don't think that the battery heater did anything because both batteries were at optimal temperature when we drove and when we arrived. So not full, but almost there, and it couldn't preheat. So I don't think that the battery heater did something, and we also didn't charge at an extreme high power where the battery cooling would kick in. Huh, so maybe the consumption shown in the car is wrong. Yeah, if you want to follow me on Instagram, BatteryLife1, and if you want to support the channel, there's a Patreon link in the description below, and here on YouTube there's also channel membership. And if you want to know what's happening behind the scenes, I have a third YouTube channel, Behind the Battery. But that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching, have a great day and take care. Bye!